Welcome back to the AI Data Center Academy. In our previous episodes, we built a machine designed for speed. We optimized for nanosecond latency. We deployed 800 gigabit pipes. We built a Ferrari. But here is the terrifying reality. You just built the world's most efficient getaway car for a data thief. An AI data center is not just a compute facility, it is a vault. The training data, that's sensitive customer information. The model weights, that is your company's intellectual property, worth billions of dollars. If someone steals your model, they haven't just hacked you, they have cloned your business. And the threats are evolving. We aren't just talking about someone stealing passwords. We are talking about data poisoning, attackers subtly altering your training data to lobotomize your AI. We are talking about adversarial attacks designed to trick your model into failure. In this episode, we are going to architect the fortress. We are going to look at the new threat landscape specific to AI. We are going to solve the physics of encryption at speed. How do you run IPsec and MACsec at 800 gigs without slowing down the training run? We are going to discuss the DPU revolution, why the network interface card is now your most important security appliance. And we are going to break down emerging AI native Cisco architectures like Cisco Hypershield that use eBPF to turn the network itself into a firewall. This is episode 7, Security in GPU enabled AI Data Center. Let's lock it down. Let's start by defining the enemy. In a traditional data center, we worry about ransomware or DDoS. In an AI factory, the attacks are more insidious. You need to understand 4 specific vectors. First, data poisoning. This is an attack on the learning process. An attacker injects malicious or misleading data into your training set. Imagine training a self-driving car on signs where stop is replaced with go in 0.1% of images. The model learns a hidden backdoor. The attacker can trigger it later. This isn't a hack, it's a sabotage, and you can't patch it. You have to retrain the whole model again. 2 is model theft. Your model weights, the resulting file from months of training, are your crown jewels. Attackers try to exfiltrate this file, or they use model inversion attacks, querying your API thousands of times to reverse engineer the model logic. Number 3, adversarial AI. This is optical illusion for computers. An attacker adds invisible noise to an image that looks normal to a human, but convinces the AI it's looking at a toaster instead of a tank. This attacks the inference stage. And number 4, infrastructure attack. This is a DDoS on the fabric itself. Remember how sensitive AI is to packet loss? If an attacker compromises one node and floods the backend fabric with garbage traffic, they can induce congestion. They don't need to crash the server. They just need to ruin the JCT enough to bankrupt you. So, how do we stop this? Traditional firewalls are useless here. You cannot put a firewall in the middle of an 800 gig GPU to GPU link. It would melt. The security must be embedded into the fabric itself. This starts with securing data in transit. For years, the philosophy in HPC was speed above all else. Encryption adds latency. So we turned it off. That era is over. Zero trust means we assume the network is tapped. We must encrypt. But how do you encrypt 800 gigs per second? We use 2 standards, MACsec and IPsec. MACsec, this is layer 2 encryption. It protects the link between 2 devices, switch A to switch B. It is incredibly fast. Modern ASICs like Broadcom Tomahawk or Cisco Silicon One have dedicated hardware engines that do this at line rate. It adds nanosecond of latency, not milliseconds. We use MACsec to secure the physical links in the backend fabric and DCI. IPsec, this is layer 3. It encrypts from host A to host B across the entire network. It offers better security because the switch doesn't decrypt the payload. Historically, IPsec crushed CPU performance, but today we offload this to the NIC or DPU. Modern Connect X7 and Bluefield cards can do IPsec at 400 gig without the CPU even knowing. If you are running a multi-tenant AI cloud, IPsec is your requirement. You must cryptographically isolate tenant A's training data from tenant B, even if they share the same spine switch. This brings us to the most critical piece of hardware in modern AI security, the DPU, Data Processing Unit. Think of NVIDIA Bluefield or AMD Pensando. In the old days, the NIC just moved packets. In an AI factory, the DPU is a server within a server. It has its own CPU core, its own memory, and its own OS. Why does this matter for security? Because it gives you a hardware root of trust. When you boot a bare metal server for a tenant, how do you know the firmware hasn't been hacked? How do you know the OS is clean? The DPU boots first. It verifies the digital signature of the server firmware. If it's compromised, the DPU kills the boot process. It is the air marshal on the flight. But its biggest job is microsegmentation. In a massive GPU cluster, the network is often flat to maximize performance. Security teams hate flat networks because if an attacker gets in, they can move laterally to any server. The DPU solves this. It runs a stateful firewall right on the card. It enforces policies. GPU nodes 1 can talk to GPU node 2, but it cannot talk to the storage controller. It blocks unauthorized lateral movement at the edge at line rate without burning host GPU cycles that you paid $30,000 for. This allows us to have our cake and eat it too. A flat, high performance network for AI with the granular security of a zero trust architecture. Now, let's look at the cutting edge distributed AI native security. The industry is realizing that managing thousands of ACLs manually is impossible. We need the network to defend itself. Enter Cisco Hypershield and the power of eBPF. Extended Berkeley Packet Filter is a technology that lets us run sandbox program inside the Linux kernel of the server. Hypershield uses eBPF to put sensors and enforcers anywhere and everywhere. In the server, in the DPU, in the switch. Instead of routing traffic through a choke point firewall, the security policy is pushed to the workload. If an AI model starts acting weird, say trying to send data to an unknown IP address, the Hypershield agent detects it and blocks it at the source. It also uses AI to write its own rules. It watches the traffic pattern of your training job. Okay, this all reduced pattern is normal. If suddenly there is a spike of traffic to the internet, that is not normal. Let's block it. This is autonomous segmentation. It adapts faster than any human engineer could type. So, what is Security Architect's playbook for 2026? Secure the supply chain. Use DPUs to enforce secure boot. You cannot trust the hardware if you don't verify it. Line rate encryption. Enable MACsec on your backend links. Turn on IPsec for multi-tenant flows. Do not accept performance as an excuse for clear text anymore. The silicon can handle it. Isolate the fabric. We talked about this in episode 3. Air gap your backend training network from the internet. The only way in or out should be through a heavily fortified front end gateway. Confidential computing. Look at NVIDIA's H100 ability to encrypt data in memory. Even if a hacker has root access to the OS, they cannot read the model weights in the GPU memory. Security in an AI environment isn't about building a wall around the castle. It is about giving every single soldier their own shield. It's about moving enforcement from the perimeter to the chip. We have covered the architecture, the silicon, the physics, and the security. But we haven't talked about the eyes and the ears. How do you know if your network is actually working? How do you see a microburst that lasts 10 microseconds? In the next episode, we wrap up the core curriculum with performance monitoring and optimization. We will look at streaming telemetry, we will define the metrics that matter, and we will look at the tools that turn this data into JCT improvements. This is the AI Data Center Academy. Stay secure, and I will see you in the next one.